Welcome back right here on The Exchange, where your business is our business. I'm Rico Hizon. Where is the Philippines now in terms of internet speeds, and how can it catch up with its regional neighbors? Let's now have an exchange with Ookla's Sylwia Kechiche, joining us now from London. Sylwia, great to have you with us. Have mobile and fixed broadband internet speeds in the Philippines finally improved over the years?
So the speeds are improving, and just before we started, I just want to say Ookla is speed test. So if you every single time you take a speed test and you measure your speeds, we actually can understand how good the network is. So we have recently launched the Speedtest Global Index as of June. The Philippines are positioned on the 83rd place when it comes to mobile, with 27 megabits per second median download speed, and they sit on the 47th place when it comes to fixed, so 93 megabits per second download speed. So probably you want to know, how does it compare to some of your neighbors?
Absolutely.
So you have fallen behind a little bit the rest. So obviously Singapore is quite hard to beat. So on the 25th, they're in the 25th place when it comes to mobile first, when it comes to fixed, but it's a smaller nation, obviously a lot of fiber being deployed. Thailand is 60th place when it comes to mobile, and 67 when it comes to fixed. Malaysia is doing quite well, so it's 46th place when mobile, 39 fixed. But you are ahead of Indonesia, that is number 99 when it comes to mobile speeds, and 122 when it comes to fixed. So things are improving, but more needs to be done.
Yes, that is the big question right now. What needs to be done? How can we be up there with the Singaporeans, the Thais, and the Malaysians in terms of internet speed, Sylwia?
Yeah, so obviously I was talking about median mobile speeds, but recently published an article looking what's happening when it comes to 5G. And right now, everyone wants to talk about 5G. So what we have seen that some of the government initiatives has already taken bear fruit in the Philippines. But what I want to mention is a recent initiative that has happened. Well, PLDT, Smart, Globe Digital, Converge signed a memorandum of understanding with the ICT for connectivity index. Is a good step trying to improve and work together. So bring together private and public bodies to work to improve the connectivity. And one example I want to bring to attention, we recently had our Asia Pacific Regulatory Summit where in Kuala Lumpur, where MC they came and talked to us about Jendela. So Jendela is the initiative to ensure that connectivity reaches to all. And they've been quite successful when it comes to that. So they took it into two phases. So phase one, that just finished, was to increase coverage of 4G population, 4G coverage to 96.9% of 4G of population. And for the second stage, they're increasing this further. And they're also looking to ways to improve 5G speeds and reach and development. So what they have done, and this is very unique, and I'm not sure if we can replicate this in the Philippines, they have reached a wholesale network. So there is one big provider that provides speeds to everybody, and thanks to that, they actually managed to catch up with South Korea. So both South Korea and Malaysia, they're reaching speeds of 500 megabits per second download speed for 5G, which is pretty impressive. So
Sylwia, I'd like to jump in here because the Philippines is among the slowest 5G services in the region. But President Bongbong Marcos previously signed an executive order streamlining the permitting process for telco and internet infrastructure. Do you think that this is enough to ramp up the country's internet speeds?
So the right of way is very important indicator in terms of how 5G will perform. So the backbone, so whatever fiber infrastructure you have in the country, ICT infrastructure, and that's the current focus of the government, is extremely important, because if you don't have a good underlying infrastructure, so you don't have good fiber backbone, you can't really provide good speed. So a lot has been done recently in terms of improving that and ensuring there is more access to that. So that's number one part. But it's not all bad news for the Philippines, because when you look at the 5G availability, so actually number of people that have 5G capable smartphones that use 5G, Philippines are quite high up in the rankings. They're just behind South Korea, that has 35% 5G availability, Thailand with 27%, and Philippines stand at 20%. So you're above Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia, and definitely India. So not all is bad. We're seeing that it's a bit of a give and take in that respect. So the Filipinos are really adopting the new technology and what you can do with 5G, because at the end of the day, it's not about speed.
So there are really bright spots in the telecommunications sector in the Philippines, but we already have 3 players in the telco sector here. Is that sufficient, or do we need more competition, just like what other analysts are saying, to trigger tighter competition and therefore faster internet speeds?
So we've seen an entry of a third player, Dito, recently, and that really increased the number of people that have access to mobile broadband. And we've seen Dito causing quite a stir in the market. I would say that globally, what we see is more consolidation happening on the mobile market as opposed to more players coming in. So that's the contrary to what we see somewhere else. Competition is always good, because competition is a natural driver to ensure that the services are better to the end customers. So we see quite a lot of competition already happening in the Philippines. I would not want to comment whether you need more or less. That's not my place to say. But I would say that competition is always a good driving force to ensure the leveling up is happening when it comes to connectivity.
Thank you so much for this Internet Speed Exchange. Ookla's Sylwia Kechiche joining us from London. And before we go, here are words from entrepreneur Iqbal Quadir on connectivity. Connectivity is productivity, whether it's in a modern office or an underdeveloped village. And this is the exchange that makes sense of the facts and the figures and the ups and downs of the business cycle, because your business is our business. I'm Rico Hizon. Thanks for watching CNN Philippines. News you can use. News you can trust.